Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Maddie and today we are going to be testing out 6 different styles of ink because I have been curious as to which one performs the best with different circumstances. So I'm going to put these 6 through the test and see what comes up. Alright, let's get started. Alright, now that I've got all of the different ink styles down, my first impressions of all of them, just kind of looking at them all together, is the Higgins. It feathers a lot compared to the other ones. It's really jagged. Ooh, and I'm smudging this one. Gotta be careful. So apparently this one's not super fast drying. It looks like the first little bit is okay, but if I go over here, it smudges. And these, of course it was the last one I did, but the rest of them don't seem to be smudging. I'll give that one a couple more seconds and see if it still smudges, but yeah, this one feathers a lot, and the Black Star Matte is, I don't know, I was gonna say it's the most black, but I don't know. It's kind of a tie between these 3. So the Deleter 4, the Black Star, and the Black 60, Kuretake Black 60. So yeah, I am going to actually blow dry this with my little mini hair dryer, and then we will put it to the test with erasers and water, as well as some alcohol-based markers. And the reason I'm going to blow dry it is just to speed up the drying process. Inks, while they might be dry to the touch, like this one is dry now, so that's not too long of a drying time, but just because they don't smudge when you rub on them, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're 100% dry. And a lot of these say that they are waterproof after dry, so I'm going to blow dry them to give them the best chance they can at being whatever they claim to be. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have used my hair dryer on these for a good minute or so. They should be dry. I didn't use the cool setting, I used the heat setting, so that should help set it a little quicker as well. So I am going to divide this into sections and then we will go from there. Okay, so I've got this all divided up and let's see how all of them do with the eraser. I'm just gonna go all the way down all of them. So let me grab my eraser. So I will be using a Moo eraser, and I'll just go to town. Okay, looking at the first section, let's see if any of them faded at all. No, it doesn't look like any of them faded, and after looking at this, with how black every other ink is, this Higgins Black Magic not only feathers, but is also like a dark gray compared to the ones around it. So, so it didn't fade, but it just is gray. The rest, they all did fine. So, awesome. Now let's try water. I'm just going to take this crappy brush that I got at Michael's. I got because it was purple. I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna put some water over all of them, and I'm gonna use just my dirty paint water I have right here. So let's see how they do. So first up is the deleter. Let's see. So it looks like it is waterproof. The color that's coming off is just the funny color from my paint water. So if I scrub at it, it doesn't lose any of its line. Like if I dab away that color, the line is, well, the paper is really torn up. The line is exactly how it was. It didn't fade, it didn't anything, so that's good. Let's try the Black Star matte. Nothing is coming off on this. And the paper, by the way, because it is getting pretty chewed up by the water, this is just Bristol, so it's not really meant to handle water, but it should still show if the ink is waterproof or not. And this one, 110% is waterproof. And like I said, colors just because my water's dirty. Let's see, the Black Magic. This one looks pretty waterproof as well. Yeah, cool. Okay. Speedball. Ooh. So this one, it must not be dried all the way. I've used this ink with watercolor paintings, and it's usually better than this, so I must not have dried this section enough. But it's still, if I dab that away, it still has its line. So maybe you could call this water resistant more than waterproof. Maybe, I know if you let it sit a little bit longer than I let it, it does react a lot better, but this gray will still happen. Just not as bad as this. So this is the Kuretake Black 60. This one also, I'm going to say water resistant, but definitely not waterproof. And the reason I'm saying it's water resistant is because this line is still pretty crisp. So, like, the line doesn't fade at all. It just, the water picks up the ink and spreads it around. It doesn't stay put, but the line still stays pretty intact. A non-waterproof ink would be like watercolor almost and just like spread. So I'd say water resistant for that one. And then let's look at the Sumi. This one, I'm gonna say it is not waterproof. Like, see how this one is gone now? Yeah, I'm gonna say this one's not waterproof. That is this ink, and it does say it is waterproof after dry, so that is a lie. If you get this ink, not waterproof. I would say probably the Black Star matte did the best, followed by the deleter ink. So, all right, so let's move on to the alcohol marker test. For this, I'm going to just be using my colorless blender, my Prismacolor. It's exactly the same as what's in Copic markers, so if you are curious about if any of these inks will work with Copics, now is the time. All right, let's see. Oh, let me get that shadow out of the way. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, deleter. It's got a little bit coming up, definitely. I don't know if it's because my tip on this is dirty. Oops. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, it is coming up. It's not the worst, but I I'd say if you want to use this ink, you'd have to dab. If I'm dabbing and then it's not smearing, but if I scrub back and forth, it is lifting a little bit. Let me clean off the nib here. So, Black Star Matte, and this one is terrible. No need to do that anymore. Okay, just clean off the tip here. Higgins. Not bad, actually. It actually works. You could really use this ink with alcohol-based markers. Speedball. This is having the same problem as the deleter, just a little worse. So I'd say no to that one. I have used that ink with Copic markers. You do have to kind of dab, and it is going to, it's gonna streak and spread like this, so be really careful with that. Let's see, Kuretake. Actually, it's really good. This isn't smearing at all. This little smudge right here, if you can see it, that's from what was left over on here. But, well, this one's not moving at all. And let's try the Sumi now. Same thing, it's not budging. Cool, awesome. So I would say if you are going to do Copic marker illustrations or alcohol marker illustrations, these Kuretake are the way to go. They might not be waterproof, but I'd say this is probably the best overall for that. Alright, so for the white gel pen, I'm just going to see how well the white gel pen goes over top. Because some inks will kind of mix with it, and that's not really what you're looking for. If you want that white highlight over top of black. Okay, so this is the deleter number 4 ink. It looks like the white went over it really well. It didn't mix at all. It's pretty opaque over top of it. I would say this gets a thumbs up. Also with the Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star Matte, gets a big thumbs up. Didn't mix or anything like that. Looks pretty opaque over it. Next up is the Higgins Black Magic. Because this ink is so gray, it doesn't look right, but I think it covered it okay. I'm not sure. If you guys can see it and give me your opinions, that'd be great. But I think it's okay. Speedball, which is this one here, this one right here. It looks pretty good. Next, both Kuretake inks look good. Especially that black 60 ink. It looks really good on that. The bottom one, I did see it mix a little bit as I was swirling it. Nothing too bad, but it did. I would say the black 60 is better than the Sumi. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video and review of all these different inks. I hope that it helped you guys choose what ink you would like to try. Alright guys, so that is my review of all of my inks. If you liked it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any suggestions for other reviews you'd like to see or other questions you have about ink. Feel free to ask, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can see new videos when they come out. I generally update on Fridays every week, or at least I try to, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. I'm also across social media as Maddie Bloom Art on most of them. All of my links will be down in the description below. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.